who not only has been here since Monday, and I don't think she's taken a break except for one hearing where somebody else was involved, but she was at 12 hours yesterday, and we're close to it today. So anyway, she's probably mad that I said it. We have a question from the jurors, and the question is, can we have the gate video tomorrow morning, question mark, or as soon as possible? So, I think we can, if they want to see it this evening, we can show it to them this evening. And that, from start to finish, is what we've seen, the video from start to finish?
No, sir, Your
It
Honor.
is not just, there are several views.
Well, let me straight, there's several views, but it's still the same time frame, and that time frame they saw is not the whole video. The whole time frame, I believe, is 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after, about 20 minutes total, maybe a little more. Because I know it cuts off at 7:49.
Well, then perhaps, and yeah, I'm open to your suggestions, but my thought would be, I could bring them out and say that we can do that for you this evening if you'd like. If you would rather adjourn for the evening and see it tomorrow, we'll do that. I don't want them to necessarily have to decide in front of us whether they want to adjourn or not. I'd like to discuss that privately themselves. And then in addition to that, I thought would be I would ask them, or I would tell them that the full video is 10 minutes before the incident. It runs to 10 minutes after, just so we know where to cue it up. Where would they want that? And how many views are there?
There's, I believe, 6 different cameras, but it's still all the same audio and it's all the same time frame. You just click on cash register 1, 2, 3, front door. So I think one is like the office in the corner, which has no relevance because no one's on it. I believe it's going to be, is it okay if I sit down?
Sure.
Thank you, sorry about that, Your Honor. I think camera 1, camera 3 in the front door will be probably the best, most accurate. But it's all the same audio, Your Honor.
Well, do I need to tell them that there's 6 different camera angles that are on the video? You did not see all of those during the trial. The lawyers had you limited to 3? 2?
I think we saw 3, Judge.
I thought it was just 2.
I thought it might have been 2 myself.
Either way, Judge, I think if you let them know that there's time before, that time, and then a certain amount of time afterwards, and see what they want to see. And I think you can, either the state would agree to you going back there and explaining it to them, or to writing it down and sending it back to them and having them respond. We're happy either way.
Well, if you don't mind, I don't mind going back there and telling them that, and because what I want them to do then is I want them to hone their question down and also decide whether they want it tonight or tomorrow. So if now, and I could take the court reporter there if you necessarily want that on the record. If you don't care that I just say, look, you can do it tonight or tomorrow. It's basically 20 minutes. We didn't play all that. 6 camera angles. We didn't show all that. I think you saw 2 or 3. What we would like you to do is, now that you know that, if you could hone your question a little bit for us and let us know if you want to see it tonight or tomorrow.
Or even ask them, right, if they want to watch all of it, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want them to feel like we're limiting them.
Correct.
Okay, yes, Your Honor. I have no objection to you bringing that up to them at all.
Okay. You want me to take the court reporter with me, or you don't care?
Yes, sir.
Do?
Just
Okay.
in the abundance of caution.
Sure.
Yeah, so they start asking questions.
All right. Logistically, it's a little bit easier that way.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so just everybody be at ease for a minute, and I'll be back in a couple of seconds.
Thank you, Judge.
Everybody can have a seat, thank you. All right, they're working on telling us if they want to do it this evening or tomorrow. They're working on if they want basically the full 20 minutes, how many camera angles would they like? So we should have that information in a minute. I'm anticipating, though, that, we're not going to conclude this evening. So obviously the 12 will go back to the hotel and then they'll come back tomorrow morning. The question then becomes, what do you want to do about the 4 alternates? Just my perspective is, at this stage, I don't think we need 4. As I said before, I got 4 just out of an abundance of caution because, as the lawyers know, you have to have 12 unless someone were to waive a verdict by 12 people, but I've never seen that happen. And so because of the length of the case, I just felt it necessary to have 4 alternates just in case. I don't know that we need 4 now because we're close to the end. I would think that we probably ought to try and be safe and have at least 2. So that's food for thought that, and just so everyone knows, there's a progression to how this works. So the first, if something happened to one of the 12, the first alternate would be, in this instance, number 13. If a second one of the 12 had to be excused for some reason, then number 14 would move in, and so on. So under that scenario, I would think we could allow 15 and 16 to go. With that said, well, that's kind of where we are at this point. You all don't need to, you can just think about that for a second or two, talk among yourselves. I mean, and then talk among yourselves, and then Mr. Stroll, after you've had a chance to talk to Mr. Dunn and the state's had a chance to confer, maybe you guys can talk together and see if there's a consensus.
Judge, I've already spoken to Mr. Dunn, so we're good.
Well, give them a second.
Oh, no, I am, I was just letting you know.
Okay.
And Judge, the other issue too, I spoke to Mr. Steve, just as a possibility, in terms of having them come out and let's try to queue it up for them, is having IT, with your honor's approval, go back there and do it for them, so that way they're not out in the court while watching. And we agree that usually jurors will want to stop, pause, talk, discuss things, and in a courtroom like this, in the open, it's difficult. So I didn't have an objection to it, the state may have an objection, I don't want to speak for them, I would talk to Mr. Dunn, but that's just also an idea for the court, Your Honor.
Well, do we have the capability of some computer or machine that we can take back there for them to actually see it?
Well, that one does, Judge. The problem is, there's 3 different types of players, and depending on whether or not they know how to work it, though.
Okay,
It's still
okay.
difficult to work even when you're familiar with
Yes, ma'am.
laptops. So there's the 3 basic types of viewers on that computer, but it's the disk itself and the data in the disk, knowing where to click and
Okay,
where to go. So
that would be the juror buzzer.
that's an interesting sound.
Let me tell you, you want to hear another interesting, since we're kind of all at ease.
Yes, sir.
When we moved to this courthouse, in the old courthouse, it was truly a buzzer. And there was, when the judge came out in the old courthouse, you just kind of came out from a side door, at least in county court. I'm trying to remember the felony in the circuit court courtrooms. It was a side door, wasn't it?
No, sir.
Well, there was a couple of back doors. Anyway, you just kind of knock on the door, which is what I do, and you'll see why. Now, when we first moved in here, that sound went 3 separate times. And I said, at least for myself, I'm not going to do that. I don't care for that sound, so I still knock on the door. Anyway, okay, we got our answer. they would like 10 minutes before, which is really the whole thing, and 10 minutes after, all camera angles. So they want to see the whole thing.
Yes, sir.
And they want to watch it tomorrow.
Okay.
So, that means, well, let's back up. I was under the impression that the computer we had wouldn't play the thing, but now I get it. So the question is, you're, Mr. Strolla and Mr. Dunn, you're okay if we had an IT person in there helping them queue it up and play it? Now, let me say this. My recollection is there's a software person or two on that jury. How, what exactly that means and what their abilities are, I would think they'd know how to do those things. But I might be wrong.
Well, Judge, they have a laptop, correct?
Yes,
I wouldn't mind if you question them, if there's somebody back there familiar with playing it on the programs that are on.
that they might not need us at all.
Well, we
Yes.
would have to give them the instructions. I can tell you, at least from my experiences, without knowing, that you have to walk through several clicks. It's not like you play it in, it gives you the option to open, you can play like a regular Windows Media Player. You have to click, and if you don't click on the right ones, or you don't put the time in, you'll never find a way to play.
Well, is it a possibility, since we're not going to do it until tomorrow, to give them some written instructions on how to do it, or
You
no?
know, Judge, there is, but I'd offer one more suggestion. Bring them back in the morning, put them in the box, just play the video, have them tell you what they want and play the video just like you would if you were reading back something or if there was something we couldn't send back there.
Well, you're right, we could do that. The only thing is, maybe Mr. Strolla alluded to it. I mean, if they were looking at a photograph, they're going to look at it and talk about it. If, quite frankly, if it was a normal video, they're going to look at it and talk about it. And they can't do that in here. And they may want to stop it, talk, and we just can't do it that way. So excuse me, I think we've got to let them look at it, pardon me, in the jury room.
And we'll draft instructions and get with Mr. Smith and make sure they're correct and we'll have them ready in the morning in a typed form.
Would that be okay to just give them a written instruction on how to queue it up?
That's fine. The only thing we ask for is if maybe if the IT department here could get them external speakers, because obviously the sound is very good out here. I don't know about that laptop, but they're gonna want to hear, they want to hear talking, they want to hear sounds. So maybe explain, I see, nodding their head, if we can either get them external speakers and then even tell them, if for some reason you don't have the audio you want, we can bring you out here to play it and leave it at their discretion.
Okay. All right.
So I know some laptops, you could have the volume all the way up and it's really difficult.
Okay, now we're back to the alternate issue. While you all think about that, do you mind if I go back in there and tell them this is what we're planning on doing for them? And perhaps get a sense for them, are they finished for the evening, or do they want to talk about other things?
State agrees to that now.
No objection.
Because then at the same time, then we need to solve this alternate situation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll be at ease for another minute or two. Miriam, let me give you those questions for the record.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Everybody can have a seat. Can I see counsel at sidebar for a real quick second? Melanie? Well, let's see if we have another question. And we do. Thank you, sir. Oh, I like these people. They're very formal. This says, and it's kind of what they told me, we have no results and we'll resume in the morning. So they're letting us know that they're ready to go for the evening. Like I say, good group. All right. So I've spoken to the attorneys at sidebar, rather than bring the jurors back in and address them any further, I'm just going to have the bailiffs get their transportation ready so they can go on back to the hotel. And what my plan is, because it's again been a long day, not just for us, but more importantly for them, and as was yesterday, and it's been long all these days, we will resume at 10 o'clock in the morning. So that will let them sleep in a bit and have their breakfast and get down here, and they'll get back deliberating at 10. We'll have, and we can meet a little before that to make sure we've got the protocol for the instructions on the video. My thought is we will get back together at 9:30 here in this courtroom. And so as far as the 12 jurors are concerned, we can get ready to have them transported. In talking with the attorneys, we are going to keep, because it's so late, we're going to keep all 4 alternates for one more night. I need to bring them in and explain that to them. We have to keep them separate from the 12, so that will be a little bit of a transportation issue, but the sheriff's office will be able to handle that. Obviously, they'll be separated for breakfast and that sort of thing, but I'll leave that to y'all. And so that's how that'll work. Would it be best to bring the alternates in now, and then while I have them in here, you take the 12
Yes, sir.
out? And then, I guess if that's fine with you, let's do it that way. Then some of the officers will remain behind, so they'll know where to put the 4 to keep them separate while you're getting the 12 out and going. I knew you would. Excellent. Okay, so if we can just bring us the 4, if you don't mind. obviously we had them separated.
Very well.
Yes.
Robert,
Yes, ma'am.
we talked, Mr. this local time, we think we can do, and Mr. Kroll suggested this too. Instructions with screenshots to show them exactly how to do it. So you,
I think they're
and then
technologically sound enough to be able to handle that.
we'll get that ready tonight, and I'll put it in the electronic copy, Mr. Stroller to look over, and then we'll meet with Mr. Smith in the morning, we'll get here early.
Okay.
And then be ready to meet with you at 9:30.
Okay.
Is that when Mr.
That's
Kroll-
perfect. That'd be great.
Get that done tonight.
Yes. Yeah, just, the back row's fine, that's easy. You don't have to go that far down, you're not gonna be here that long. Go ahead and have a seat, thank you all very much. We have come to the conclusion for today, after 8 o'clock, as you could probably imagine. And I recognize that you are in a very unusual and difficult position, that is being alternates. And I explained to you a little bit earlier about why. Just because of the length of the case and whatnot, we need to make sure we have enough people to take the seats of others if something were to happen. Because it's so late, what I want to do, and hopefully you will understand and indulge me, is to have you remain, which means you will spend one more night at the hotel, have you come back tomorrow for a while to see where we might be and how things are going. And I'm hopeful that tomorrow, if we have a verdict, fine. If we don't, we should have a sense of being able to perhaps release some of you. Okay? I see almost a smile from everybody. And I truly thank you for that. I just can't express my thanks enough for your time and attention, obviously, during these last 8 or 9 days. And again, now that you're in this particular position, which is odd to say the least, that you're willing to kind of hang in there with us, if you please. So we will, now, we have to keep you separated, unfortunately, from the others, because we can't have conversations going on between you guys and them. There can't be conversations really between yourselves about the case, okay? We're still in our bubble, so to speak, all right? So don't talk about the case among yourselves. Don't let anybody talk about the case to you. Still same rules, because you could very quickly be a juror. So that's what's going to happen. That'll explain it to you. That's why the sheriff's office folks will keep you separated from the others. You'll have to eat breakfast separately tomorrow. You'll be transported separately. If you're here for lunch tomorrow, you'll be eating lunch separately, obviously. So that's what's going on. I apologize to you for that, but sometimes it just works that way. So I do appreciate your willingness to understand and continue to serve. All right? So get a good night's rest. We'll see you all in the morning. Oh, by the way, we are going to start at 10 o'clock. That way you can get a little bit of rest and have a nice, hopefully leisurely breakfast. And so we'll see you tomorrow at 10. Okay? Thank you all. And we need to, whatever their notes are and stuff, we need to keep them someplace and keep them separate.
Their notes I have locked away
Okay,
separately already.
perfect, perfect. All right, anything else from the state for this evening?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Stroll, anything else? Mr. Dunn, any objections or exceptions to anything that's gone on? I know I asked you that a while ago, but all day, including now? We're good. Okay, very good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. Those of you that are coming back at We'll be here in the courtroom at 9:30, just going over that video thing, and then the jury will begin their deliberations again at 10. Thank you all. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.